Welcome in, Hoopers. Much love. So, assuming you're already doing weight training, if you're not, you should be doing this. If you're young, you should be studying about it already. But let's assume that you're already doing weight training and you have a split routine, right? You may be familiar with you're probably familiar with the concept of, for instance, you have your leg day and you have your chest day and you have your back day, or you just have 2 days a week, you have your upper body and your lower body day. Well, let's think about a totally different concept that actually may make more sense if our goal is just to move better. So let's think about what our goal is here. So when we isolate muscle groups like a chest day or a back day, we're not isolating movements, right? We're not focused on the movements, we're focused on the parts of the body. So that's going to make our parts of our body bigger, which is important if we're bodybuilding. But if we're playing basketball, we want to get stronger at movements in general athletics. We want to have a high movement vocabulary. Movement vocabulary is like, the bigger your word vocabulary, the more sentences you can string together. The bigger your movement vocabulary, the more different sequences of combos you can string together. Movement vocabulary meaning different types of moves, different types of movements. So we want to get away from body parts and focus on types of movement. So here's a new way of splitting movements. So you might not be familiar with this concept. This is actually a fairly new cutting edge concept of how to split. So I've heard of some people in the UK starting to do this, but it's super advanced and is really makes tons of sense. You're gonna love this. So there's two basic types of human movements: bilateral and unilateral. Bilateral is both at the same time. Like imagine how a kangaroo jumps, that's a bilateral movement. Imagine jumping off 2 feet, that's a bilateral movement. Imagine doing a squat is bilateral, deadlift is bilateral, breaststroke, crawl stroke is bilateral, pull up is bilateral, bench press is bilateral, right? So bilateral is any time we're using both of our legs and our arms at the same time, and it's obviously is useful. That's how we sit down. We use it, it's functional, right? So that's what most of us do when we lift, is we do a lot of bilateral stuff. When we do bilateral chest, bilateral back, bilateral legs, whatever. But we're not focusing on the unilateral. So instead of the body parts, let's go bilateral movements, unilateral movements. A unilateral movement is like throwing a baseball, or shooting a basketball, or throwing a knee, right? Or kicking with one foot, or jumping off one leg, or doing a bowling motion, or even a golf swing. All these things are bilateral because both sides are not the same. One side is doing the dominant movement, the sides are moving differently. Bilateral is like lunges, unilateral is like lunges, unilateral is going up and down stairs. So most of us are focusing on the bilateral but leaving out the unilateral, and the unilateral also is like throwing a punch. This is where the rotation comes in. There's a lot of rotation. Bilateral, the core stays the same, you're doing a bench press, but unilateral, if you have a cable behind, imagine, and I'm throwing a punch, right, there's lots of core rotation. So we talk about rotation in shooting. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people can't rotate on shooting, because they don't rotate in their training. So if you're a weightlifter and you're weight training for performance in athletics, forget the body parts and focus on movements. And if you're splitting your days, try splitting them bilateral, unilateral. If you weight train 2 days a week, on the first day do your bilateral, your squats, your deadlifts, your pull-ups, your bench, etc. On the other day, do your unilateral, do your lunges, do your chops, do your one-arm kettlebell swings, do your weight throws, and so on. And this is going to give you a better movement vocabulary. You're going to be able to combo more moves together. You're going to be able to jump off 2 feet and 1 foot, and so on and so forth. Again, this is a new way of thinking, and if you embrace this and head in this direction, you're going to be ahead of the game. So that's the new way to split your weight training routine. Super good. You're going to love it. And when this works and when you implement it, write me, let me know how it goes for you. So enjoy. Take care.